Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are in this world.
Depending on where you
This
are
is
in
Hedge and
this
Lee
world.
with a brief
This is
update
Hedging
for
for
Steam.
the Ethereum update.
Steam is also doing a
Price has
three-wave
reached
swing.
to
If
the
you really look
upside.
at it from a very
Out of this
long-term perspective on a weekly
downward
scale.
wedge pattern.
Let's see how that looks.
While that can be a bit of a
For now, we can say we have a
excitement,
W, X, and a Y
I
potential.
think it's important to notice that
So
what
this
had
W,
and
X,
currently
Y,
is
they
very
each
much
have
that of
three-wave
a
swings.
three-wave swing.
For the blue
What I mean
W,
by that
we're getting an A,
is,
B,
let's take a look at the
and a C.
very beginning part.
Notice how the B is
1,
higher than
2,
the
3.
origin of A.
So that's
Okay.
an ABC.
And that means this is an
Belongs to the
expanded
three-wave family. If this is the low,
flat.
this is
Then we have the
really
ABC for the
wave 1,
X.
2, and 3. This is a three-wave swing.
And now we are working on
And if it's
the
a three-wave swing,
ABC of the Y.
it has to be corrected. So
The
how does this fit in? Let's take a look at it.
subwave
ABC.
composition of the
We
C
also
of
see ABC
Y
here. 1, 2,
shows it to be
3.
5
This
waves.
is not
I think
this is not
thus
a
far we are done with 1,
waves.
2,
so. Clearly
3.
this is corrective also.
And we're going to have maybe a couple
if we have
weeks or a week and a half. I don't know exactly how long. But most likely this is going to go sideways potentially. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4
It'll likely
for maybe a couple weeks. And then 5.
1, 2.
Now this 5 means we're going to go to the 14, 15 cents. If this is
I
correct.
believe
We could also go to
rally.
potentially the 21 cents.
Probably go to the belly of this
5 could be
resistance zone.
But I think 5 will hit
So these are the
this
sub
maybe
waves.
right in the middle
Now
of this
let's
support.
Get rid of these ABCs.
In that zone. And let me show you
Now,
why
so this
that
is ABC,
and how
ABC,
that has been identified.
B, 1, 2,
If we
3,
look at the
4,
left
5,
shoulder
C.
head and the right
I
shoulder
think this is just a corrective.
and draw the neckline,
It had been a bit oversold in the RSIs. And what we're seeing right now is
and label this as an LS for the left
and this
shoulder.
would be an A, B, C bounce, and this 3, 5,
And this as an
through
RS.
5 will be waiting
And we've got the head.
for the lower lows. So that is my analysis for Ethereum. I
Then
don't
if we
find
measure
myself
the minimum
on the
distance
way
run, it clearly runs into the middle of this. So I would say somewhere between 21 cents to 14 cents. Could it go lower than that? Yes. It could. But for now, given the support zone here, I think we can say that A of Y is complete, the B of Y is complete, wave 1 and 2 of the C of Y finished off the right shoulder, price then breached to the downside of the neckline, and this red C of Y has to have 5 subwaves. And thus far we have wave 1, 2, and 3 probably complete. And we're going to be working on 4 for a few weeks, and then down for one more decline, and this will follow Bitcoin. One more decline into this cluster of support. Can it make a new all-time low? Yes, that is possible. But what I think is that I think this support zone is clustered and condensed enough to decelerate the wave 5. Which waves are usually the weakest on the actionary side? 1 and 5. 3 is the longest and most extended, and usually the most powerful. Not always, but usually. If this declines to an all-time low, we will have an extended 5th, so to speak. And 5th waves don't usually extend that subwave composition for cryptos. It can, but it usually doesn't. Remember, this is just an analysis based on probability and not certainty. If you know of anyone else who can provide analysis based on certainty, please do let me know, because I don't know of anyone who can do that. So based on probability, I think the C wave has 2 more waves to go in subwaves. That is wave 4 and wave 5. As mortifying as this will be for many of the holders of Steem, and even for Steemit Incorporated, which has also laid off 70% of their staff. Not surprising. Could they even go belly up? Maybe so. Will the blockchain survive? I believe so. Many of the dApps might suffer, but if the application runs their own RPC nodes, they should be okay, as long as we have our minimum of 21 witnesses. In fact, it'll be very interesting to see zero influence of Steemit Incorporated and have the witnesses and the community really run the Steemit blogosphere. So for any of you who bought it at the top, if you're still holding on to it, God bless you. Now is not the time to be selling, I don't think. You could sell on this bounce and try to recoup it at the bottom. You're more than welcome to do so. But again, as I emphasize continually, the long-term greedy perspective will take you out of the woods. Because once this WXY finishes, it'll impulse upwards. There is a potential that we can get a WXY, X, and a Z. This whole thing will go sideways, yes. But even if it did WXY, the X will bring it back to near all-time highs, maybe even past it. So is it worth holding on to it, even down to the 14-cent levels or whatever you? Well, that decision must be self-made. I'm providing you the analysis. I hope this is helpful, and I wish you a good day.